My name is Jeremy Wolf, Executive Director of More Than Baseball, and you're listening to The Grind, our podcast about the life and journeys and challenges of professional baseball players. This episode is with Eric Sim.
My name is Eric Sim. I played with the San Francisco Giants in minor league system for 6 years. I got drafted as a catcher, and then I turned to a reliever at the end because I fucking sucked at hitting.
Don't know who Eric Sim is?
You think Basky is eyewash? You're eyewash! Fucking goal!
Hellacious seeds are so hot.
The formula you need to hit hellacious seeds is B plus P and DN, which stands for bang plus pimp job, and DN stands for D's nuts.
Which equals I and V. Intimidation and victory.
Hit hellacious seeds, you jabronis.
102 miles per hour.
Eric is the definition of a grinder. He gets it. Now he looks back at his time in professional baseball and embraces it. Tries to help others get to where he got. He tells it like it is, and he says what he means. This is episode 5 of The Grind with Eric Sim.
And then, yeah, I have a pretty fucked up background. I was born in South Korea. I grew up there until I was about 13. I played baseball there as well. I ended up immigrating to Canada when I was 13. And then I grew up playing high school ball here. And then after that, I got recruited to go to junior college in Kansas for 2 years. And then after that, I went to University of South Florida for a year. And I got drafted as a junior. And then I was with the Giants. And then after 6 years, I got released. I played a little bit of indie ball in Winnipeg, and after that, I was like, fuck this, I'm done. So I was 27. I'm like, dude, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm broke as fuck. I'm like, I'm done. So that's basically, I can summarize my career.
You've become, and it's cool to have you on because you've become this cult hero of minor league grinders and JUCO bandits. How did that start? Where did that come from?
It just kind of came out of nowhere, I guess. In the beginning, like, I didn't really use Twitter that much, even when I was playing and stuff like that, because obviously there are a lot of restrictions too when you're playing. I mean, anything you say, you know, the organization's watching, right? So you can literally, I still remember my roommate tweeted us some dumb shit or whatever, and then like our personnel, like literally, like within 5 minutes of posting it up, fucking got a call. Oh, yep, that shit's gotta go. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So again, they're really very controlling. So again, I didn't want to deal with any of that bullshit, so I didn't do Twitter. But after I got released, I did an article with Saris about like minor league pay and stuff like that. And then that article kind of took off on its own. And then after that, I was starting to gain some traction. Like people just was wondering, like, what the hell, like, is this true? Because I was saying some shit like no one was saying, you know, like I was basically saying, hey, this is the truth. You know, I wasn't like sugarcoating anything. You know, a lot of people out there like, oh, Pro Bowl is just great fucking thing. Well, it wasn't. It just wasn't. It's not the case, you know. So I was just sharing some stuff that people are interested, I guess. And then basically, yeah, after that, I kept on sharing my stories. Like I was tweeting a little more. And then my fucking channel kept growing and growing, I guess. So here I am.
Is there one story from being this figure on Twitter or from saying these things, is there one story that someone's told you that stuck out to you, or a moment from doing all this where it's been gratifying actually to talk about, you know, the grind of minor league baseball?
Yeah, it's cool to actually have some kind of impact because I have a platform to do so a little bit now, right? So and me, like big things like helping out minor leaguers, right? A little bit. I raise money for them and I give them, and they're just like super thankful, and I appreciate that. But again, it just, you know, I just share straight up, you know, I don't sugarcoat it. I just want to be straight up, fucking, you know, the truth, you know, who wants to hear, oh, Pro Bowl is great. No, the fuck it isn't, you know, you get paid like shit, you eat like shit, you drink like shit. I mean, fuck, you know, so, but within the midst of all that, you still gotta, you know, find time to, like, or just, you still gotta enjoy baseball. It's a tough gig, right? So I'm just trying to share a little more of that.
Do you have a favorite tweet storm of yours, or do you have a favorite tweet you've ever put out where you're like, this is gold?
I mean, Like now though, like because I tweet so much, like I kind of know before I tweet like some shit. I'm like, dude, like I know people are gonna like this, you know. But at the same time, for me, like I still tweet about like when I talk about minor leaguers, right? It's not as, you know, like it doesn't get as much traction anymore. But I don't give a fuck because I'm gonna tell you it sucks, you know. So I'm just gonna speak basically what I want to. So yeah, I don't really have a single one that really sticks out. I mean, I've got into some Twitter beef with some people, and then but I mean that shit's all fucking the past. I mean, I still do them. I don't give a fuck, you know. If someone says stupid shit, I'm willing to talk to them about that, I guess, in my way. But yeah,
I have we posted my favorite one of yours a few months ago. It says people ask me why I still train even though I have no desire to play anymore. It's simple. I fucking enjoy training. Training is hard, and 99% of training is mostly taking L's, but that 1% of hitting your goal is a damn good feeling.
that's right.
Is the training you've done and the, you know, trying to hit 100 or wasn't like Operation Terrier UCL or get Tommy John, like
that's right.
The things you're doing, I think a lot of baseball players find a lot of joy in, like a lot of enjoyment watching, and I think you've had a lot of fun doing it.
For me, like, yes, I do some stupid shit for the people, you know, like I'll go pull down a kettlebell if I have, like I'll do it, you know, I'm not scared to do that, right? And I'll go ice my arm for 20 minutes and fucking go pull down. Like that shit hurts so much, and I would not do it again, but I did it, you know, because people wanted to. But a lot of the training I do, to me, like I treat it like I'm working out, you know, even though I'll work out on top of it because I don't want to fucking be a bitch, so I have to lift heavy weight. But it's just like, dude, like I love training. I've always loved training. I think that's why I still don't like coach. I'm sure I could coach like local teams, you know, and I'm in Canada right now, so I'm sure I could go coach and stuff like that. But I just don't really have much of a desire to do that right now because like I like doing it. You know, I don't know if I really want to. To be honest, I don't really give a fuck about any other people. You know, I care about me. Fuck would I want to go help? I mean, sure, I've done that before. I went out to these like shitty camps and I'll help them out a little bit. But like I don't find joy in that. You know, I'm gonna do the shit that I want to now because I'm retired. I can do what I want to. Like when I was playing, right, and playing pro ball, like whether I want to do it or not, I had to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be a little more truthful to how I feel. You know, instead of what other people think of me and all that bullshit. Like I'm just gonna do what I want to. And for me right now, I like throwing gas. I love lifting heavy shit. I love hitting bombs. So I mean, fuck, I'm gonna do all those.
What's your biggest piece of advice to a minor leaguer, maybe even right now, but just who's grinding on a bus, you know, in Arkansas, 16 hours, just thinking about his life?
Well, fuck, I don't know if I have one piece of advice. It's just for me, like I went through it, you know, and as a guy that's been through it, fuck, I don't even know if it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I went through it, it fucking sucked. I was 6 years. Like I'm not saying I wasted though, because I made a lot of connections. I've learned a lot from the coaches and the players. Like I still talk to a lot of them, right? The guys that I was with or whatever. But it just, I say just whatever you feel, you should be truthful. So if you're like, for me, like I knew I was done. Like, cause when I was 27, I got released by the Giants, and then I was playing a little bit indie ball. Like by that time of my career, like when I go to games, I didn't even get excited. You know what I'm saying? Like before every game, usually you get a little bit of a, you know, like a, you know, you feel a little bit of excitement, joy, a little worry. You know, you get little butterflies, right? But I none of that shit like existed anymore. And that's when I knew I was like, dude, like it's time for me to move on, you know? So again, if you still feel like you can play, if you still feel like you get that little, you know, excitement and that's something you really still love to do and keep doing, dude, fucking do it. All the power to you. And you should do it all you got with everything you got so that you don't have any regrets, you know? But if you don't feel the way you feel like how I was, like, it's not a terrible thing to walk away from the game, is what I'm saying. People, a lot of minor leaguers too, especially, we're very scared to do something else, you know, because that's what we've done all of our lives, right? So even for me, man, I was 27. I never really had another job. You know, like I always played baseball or I coached. That's what I did, you know. And then after that, I'm a bar manager now. So I'm doing fucking something I've never done before. Not even something close to what I was doing before, or something I was planning to do either, you know. But it just, you know, I think a lot of baseball players, and even like other athletes too, I'm sure, like we're just very scared to come out of our comfort zone, right? But I mean, for me, like if it's time, like you know when it's time, and it's okay to move on. And when you do move on, find something that you like doing or whatever you can, you know, and to find the joy from it.
Was it easy for you to adjust to post baseball life after you retired?
No, I mean, no, it was tough. It's tough to everyone. Like because I know a lot of my friends now, because I'm older, I'm 31. A lot of my friends are retired and they're doing something else, right? A lot of them. Very few are still playing now. All of them I've talked to, it's very tough to find something they want, because we're in the real world now. I mean, we can't just do the shit we like, you know, like, so we're not playing baseball anymore, you know, so you have to adjust to it. And plus there's a lot more you have to do, you know, when you're living the actual life. You know, you got a bunch. I mean, I got a bunch of shit to do like every day. I was just like, well, why do I have so much shit to do? And I'm not a fucking professional baseball player. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? But I mean, it is what it is. And so again, I found it tough in the beginning, but you get used to it. When you get used to it, it's fine. And for me, like the hardest I've ever worked was actually when I was playing baseball. Now it's still like I'm not fucking around or anything, but like this is something I can easily get done, you know. So I mean, yeah.
Have you been able to, since you got released, have you been able to do you still love baseball, right? Do you miss it? Is it something you still wish that you were doing, or you're like, I got what I needed out of it, I learned what I needed, and then I'm okay moving on to something else?
Yeah, I'm more the latter. So I don't really, like, I like baseball. Obviously, I'm a baseball guy. I've played baseball my life, but I don't feel like, oh man, I really wish I was playing baseball. I never felt that, actually. I live a not like a comfortable life, but I live a way better life though now than I was playing baseball, you know, because I was broke as fuck, man. I was checking my bank account every week. I'm not doing that shit anymore, you know. So it's a nice stability I've never had before, and also like a little more comfort, right? So, and because you have a like home, and you're like working, you have a stable job. I'm not gonna get released by this fucking job, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, unless I really fuck up, I'll get fired. But I mean, I'm not gonna do that. So there's a lot more to that. But again, like for me, like I don't really miss playing. But again, the reason I love training is because I love the training part of the baseball, and I still have a good body. I'm fat as fuck now, but I mean, I still have a good body. I'm still strong. You know, I can still throw hard and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm might as well. You know, so
You tweeted out, I forgot when it was. I think MLBPA and MLB were talking about changes they would make to baseball.
right.
And I don't know if off the top of your head you remember those, but how would you change baseball to make it more exciting, entertaining for people? And how would you change minor league baseball?
Dude, I've tweeted a lot about this topic. Like, I'll change a lot, you know, but obviously, like, I'm not like in the position to do any of that shit, or I don't know the real ins and outs of the money side of things or whatnot. But it just, first of all, the draft change they made, I think that's bullshit, because I know they can afford it. I know they can. They just wouldn't afford it. That's basically what it is. They make it sound like they can't afford it, but they can. Just like the MLB and MLBPA right now going at each other. You know, but they want the players to take more of a pay cut than what they originally agreed upon, which is not, like, for me, like if I was buying a house and, you know, oh, okay, we're gonna agree on 300,000. You're not gonna get 350 out of me. There's no fucking way, because we agreed on that. You know, we could agree that there's nothing that is gonna change that. And so right now, again, MLB plays a good game of, you know, media, right? So, and they're smart, so they make the players out to be bad guys or whatever. But I mean, it's not the case, because not only because I played, I'm not just on the player side, but that's just dumb, you know. It's like, what the fuck would agree to that. I mean, would you agree to that? No. I mean, fuck. No, and plus, I mean, they're risking it. People think, oh, you're just playing baseball, but man, we don't play baseball, you know. Like, so even for me, when I was playing the minors, like, it's not just playing baseball. It's like, I'm not gonna say life or death because I'm not gonna actually die from it, but it's your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So it's very different than people saying, oh, you just play baseball for a living. Well, your idea of playing baseball for a living is you playing in a little league and you keep playing this awesome, great, happy baseball forever. So it's not the fucking case, man. It's a fucking battle every day. You know, it's a damn grind. Like, what those guys can say grind, you know, like, it's because they go through it. You know, traveling, fucking playing every day, and I'm gonna let everyone know just here, playing baseball at the professional level is not even in college level. That shit is like, whatever you were thinking in Little League or your fucking JV team where the fuck you got cut from, like, that's not the same baseball we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, a lot of changes I think I could definitely make, but you know, we're just gonna have to deal with what we got right now, I guess. Fuck.
Do you have a favorite minor league baseball story that a one that you'll love to tell your kids?
I don't have too many stories I want to tell my kids. It's more like stories until I die, you know, because a lot of them are fucking stupid and we're doing stupid shit and all that. But overall, like, minor leagues for me was an experience I wouldn't trade that for anything, you know. And although if I could go back in time, like, instead of playing 6 years, I'll play like maybe 2 or 3 years and just like, fuck it, suck it, make some money, you know. When I'm 25, I'm not so broke at 27 or stuff like that. But the memories I made with the friends I made, I mean, fucking dude, I wouldn't change that for anything, man. And I had a good time, even though the situation's shitty. We make the most of it because I've done JUCO, like I've been to some shit, you know, so I can survive that, you know. So I can go, you know, survive in some shitty fucking town. There's nothing else but baseball, and you just ball out and you travel 10, 12 hours with your boys. I mean, it sucks, but when you're doing it, again, it's doable.
Right. Did being Korean ever affect you? Did people ever say anything? Were there fans that ever say anything?
Yeah.
Say anything, but
yeah, no, I mean, even like racial stuff. Funny story though, like, this kid probably had no idea. It's like, I was in Greenville, right, and then Loway, and it was packed. And then I was getting up to the plate, and it was like super quiet. Like, I was on deck, and I was walking in, and this like 3, 4, 5-year-old is like, hit the Chinese kid, and I'm just like, this motherfucker serious? Like, fucking, like, first of all, I'm Korean, bitch. Like, shit, I'm on the away team, so they want to be. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Man, but again, those little things, again, that is minor. Like, even like in high school and stuff like that, I was playing against some like teams and like our rival teams or whatever, and they'll be calling me names and stuff. But for me, like, none of that shit affected me. I mean, I dealt with racial slurs all the time, even in the minors and in college. For me, I'm not even like tolerating. For me, it is what it, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even faze me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, I don't really care. You know, I mean, if you really are trying to like hurt me, like, you can't, because words don't hurt me. And physically, I know you can't fucking hurt me because you're a bitch. You know, so.
Is I'll cut this part out.
Right now, because I know I should I don't know, some podcasts, you know, like, I don't know if
I don't care. The people I want listening to this are, you know, minor leaguers on a bus, on a 14-hour bus ride. You just played a day-night doubleheader. They got fed Golden Corral after games, and they're like, I just want to listen to something. You know, that'll be fun. That'll help. You know, and when I have these conversations, I always want to talk about the mental side of playing.
Yeah.
Mentally trying to embrace the calm that you can find in the chaos of minor league baseball. And if it's meditation for some people, that's fine. And if it's trying to find things that work for them, I totally understand. Is there something that you did that helped you mentally for 6 years of grinding in minor league baseball, not making enough money, not eating properly, not lifting as much as you wanted to, and your body feeling like shit? Are there things that you did while you were playing that helped you?
I think definitely coming with your own routine helped me. Like for me, like I have a set routine, whether I was pitching or like I was a catcher, like different routines obviously. But whatever routine I came up with, I did it from like head to toe. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like miss anything. So for example, if I was this is my pitching routine. Like it might sound funny, but it's literally what I did. You know, like. So I was a mid reliever, mid to like late reliever. I was in short season. I just turned to a pitcher, right-handed reliever. So I'm like, okay. So I came with this routine. So game starts. We're in the bullpen. I'm just like either passing out or I'm just like relaxing. You know, I'm not even moving. I'm chilling. Third inning, I'm gonna go take a shit because that's how I don't know why. That's how I got ready. All right, don't add me. All right. So third inning, I go take a shit. Come back by like the beginning of the fourth inning, right? And then I'll start getting ready. I'll start making my pre-workout. I'll do 2 scoops of whatever, fast twitch or whatever the fuck they got going on. So I'll do 2 scoops of that, and I'll be sipping that, you know, 4th inning, 5th inning, right? And around 5th inning is when I gotta start moving, because usually I got in the 6th or the 7th, you know, depending on the situation, right? So 5th inning, I'll get up, start moving around. You know, I'll pop a few ibuprofens, right, and try to get ready, and then put the Red Hot, you know, all over my arm and shit like that. So just getting myself ready. And then the end of the 5th, going into the 6th, I'm actually like doing some serious stretches. I'm doing my plyo balls, and I'm trying to get everything ready. And as soon as I hear, hey, Sim, get hot, we had a sign, because our pitching coach gives us a sign. My thing was Buddha, so he'll just go this, and then that means I need to get hot, you know. So I was like, fuck. Anyway, so he'll do that. I'm like, all right, so I need to get hot. So I'm in the 7th inning or whatever. I'm trying to get hot. So I'll go up. I'll do like a pull down, like 2 or 3 of them to a catcher. And I got ready real quick too. I'll throw like 2 fastballs, pop a slider, pop a changeup, and then I'll give them, I'm good to go. And then I'll go pitch by pitch on this, depending on the situation. You know what I'm saying? So again, set routine. I was basically following, other than the taking the shit part, because sometimes I didn't want to take a shit. On the 3rd inning, I'll go take a shit in the 2nd inning or the 4th inning. So it kind of depends. But other than that, dude, I did everything to a T. When I was going to the game, like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm doing the ammonia, like, fucking smelling salt and shit. Like, for me, like, I like to pitch, like, hyped up. Because for me, like, when I first turned to a pitcher, everyone's like, oh, you got to stay relaxed, stay calm. And I pitched like shit, man. I couldn't get myself going. You know, and one time I saw my buddy Ray Black do, like, he'll go in like with like smelling salts, like literally a full thing of smelling salts. He was like, and he'll just like screaming, you know, like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Relax. But he'll go in and dominate. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna try that. So I did exactly what he was doing, which was like the Red Hot and, you know, all the crazy shit, like pre-workout, chugging a Red Bull. And it was insane. And I did that, and I fucking dealt. So I kept on doing that, as I've been doing that ever since. So. And again, I had my own set routines when I was catching as well. But for whatever routine you come up with, do it wholefully. Like, you know, don't fuck around and don't change it too much. If you come with a set of routines, and a lot of times when you're a pro, like, you know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, right? Find the shit that works for you and get you in that zone consistently every game, instead of, you know, fucking around. You know what I'm
saying? What would you tell JUCO Sim, or first season of minor league baseball Sim, to get him ready for what was to come?
Don't be a bitch is what I would say. And again, I'm not even saying that as like I was a bitch or anything like that. It's just mentally, you know, and because JUCO is like, I'm from a small high school in Canada, like, and I was pretty good, you know. I was like, okay, I'm pretty good. I went to JUCO, man, like first fall ball practice, I was like, holy fuck, everyone's bigger, stronger, they're better than me, you know. I was like, holy fuck, because I was on a full ride. I'm like, I thought I was definitely gonna play, and after that, I was like, dude, like, if I don't fucking like ball out, I'm gonna get cut, you know. So I was like, fuck. So after that, like, I really like man the fuck up, like trying to do everything I can to get better, you know, like doing all these exercises or whatever, finding out, dude. I was looking at YouTube like swings like all day, every day, just to find things to better myself, you know. Same thing in the minors, I did that. But again, being a bitch doesn't necessarily mean like I wasn't trying hard. It's more of a lot of other things affected me, like especially in pro ball, right? So a lot of, you know, like let's say personal life or family situation, whatever that was going on, it was affecting me, you know, to really focus on baseball. So I'd say that, and so that's what I was just like just clear head, right? And instead of thinking a million things that I can't control to get better, you know. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite personal moment in baseball?
I mean, probably my first dinger when I was in Little League. I was in Korea. I still remember that day probably from until I died, probably, because my first homer, dead center, dude. It was fucking tank too. I was like, fuck. I was like grade 4 in Korea, so I was like what, like 9 or 10 or whatever. Dude, I hit that, dude. I almost completely missed first base, and then just because it's my first one, I've never done it. You know, it's the greatest feeling. The ball coming up my bat, dude. I can feel that right now. You know, I played baseball for 20 fucking years. I can still feel that. You know, so first homer, like I probably wouldn't like in-game homer, right? So I will never forget that. And obviously getting drafted was cool and all that, but for me, draft story was a little awkward because I don't know, all the fucking scouts were telling me I was going to get drafted way higher. I was supposed to go like 8 to 10 round, and I ended up on the 27th. I actually turned my laptop off because that's where I was watching. I was home. I was watching the draft through the draft tracker on my laptop, and I actually turned it off after the 15th round. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to fucking get drafted, or I'm not going to sign even if I get drafted, you know. But I got drafted in the 27th round. My phone started blowing up. That was a cool feeling, but at the same time, I was pretty pissed off, which sucks because I had all this bullshit thrown at me from these scouts, you know, thinking I was better than who I was, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing I regret but I was in that situation because I didn't know of anyone. Like nobody around me, my family, my friends, no one played pro ball, you know? So I really didn't know how to go about all that. Now I know because I went through it, but you know, again, it's just the moment was cool, but I didn't really get to enjoy it as much as I should have.
What advice would you give to someone in that boat? Maybe a college junior. Now it sucks now because they're going to have 5 rounds this year and 20 rounds next year. But that process of getting drafted and feeling disappointed that you got drafted lower than you thought, it should be this incredible moment.
Right, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know. A lot of them are going to be in the same boat as I was. A lot of people think, "Oh, you got drafted." I mean, yeah, drafting first round, amazing. But I guarantee you, even the first rounders, man, some of them are not happy because they went 25th overall instead of 7th overall. You know what I'm saying? Like because the money differentiates so much, and the title, you know, and getting the drafted title is cool and all, but again, even within it, there's a lot of drama and a lot of politics and shit like that. So for me, the biggest thing I'll say is fucking enjoy the moment. You know, just don't be like me and then not enjoy it as much. Dude, I was pissed I got drafted. You know what I'm saying? Because I was actually pissed because that gave me a choice of, that didn't give me a choice of, hey, if I didn't get drafted, I would have for sure went back to school. You know what I'm saying? And I would have played for my senior year. But because I got drafted in the later rounds, now I was like in this weird fucking position. You're like, I don't know if I want to play pro ball or go back to school and finish my degree and then be a senior, you know. But and then I ended up talking to my coach, and my coach actually said, hey, like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a spot for you, like full-time spot for you, because my backup at the time was good. He ended up getting drafted by the Tigers too, and he was good, you know. So, and I completely understood that, you know, and which is why that was the biggest reason I signed, because I didn't want to go for my senior year and fucking play 30 games, you know. I want to play every game, right? So that was a big reason for me to sign. But again, it's just the process is, you gotta enjoy it. It's hard to say that because I know exactly what they're gonna go through, and a lot of them are gonna be told other things, right? So, oh, you're gonna go 8th round, or a lot of fucking scouts will tell you 8th to 10th round either way. I don't know why they say that. It's like a big thing. I've talked to all my boys that got drafted. They were all told they're gonna go fucking top 10 rounds, you know. So again, just don't let that affect you. You know, you got your chance. Be thankful. Enjoy the moment, because that moment is not gonna come back. Unless you don't sign and can get drafted next year higher, which is not that likely, you know what I'm saying? So enjoy the moment, once in a lifetime thing. Whether you sign or not, the whole process should be more enjoyed than thinking about all this bullshit and money and all. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that comes into play.
When reading your tweets and following you for the last, I think we first talked about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And over that time, you've talked more and more about JUCO ball. And JUCO
Yeah.
Bandit has been like the signature, right? And let's fucking go. It's all about JUCO ball. For people that don't know, say parents of a high school kid, or say even a senior in high school right now, or even a D1 guy who just doesn't understand what JUCO ball is like, what separates JUCO baseball from D1 and D2? I played D3, and D3 itself, there's no scholarships. It's all about having fun and playing.
Right.
There's competition, but no one makes it out of D3. Very few. So what's it like in JUCO as opposed to D1?
Like for me, like I've done JUCO and D1 both. And for me, like competition I was seeing in JUCO is actually really, really fucking good. And that's the biggest thing that's underrated is the competition you will see. And a lot of people, a lot of kids, and a lot of parents still to this day think, oh, I'm going to JUCO, and they're all sad about it. Like, what the fuck would you be sad about it, dude? If you go to JUCO with that fucking attitude, your ass is gonna be fucking home after fall ball. I can guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not a joke. Like a lot of people think, oh, JUCO, it's just 2 years, and no, it's not. It's literally you have to put everything you got, and hopefully you survive. Get better, survive, and then you move on to a 4-year. And for me, I'm from a small town in Canada. I didn't get recruited by any schools, and the only school really offered me scholarship money was Kobe Community College, which is where I'm going to, which is a JUCO. And even though that was my only choice, I'm glad it was my only choice because I grew so much as a person, even more so than a baseball player. And I really got better at baseball, but as a person, like, because everything from home, especially if you're a high school kid, right? I mean, your parents will take care of a lot of things, and you're in your very comfort place, right? When you go to a JUCO, man, especially out of nowhere, like all the JUCOs are in fucking bullshit towns that shouldn't play baseball, but it's great because it makes them unique, and you really develop as a person how like you learn to adapt, into whatever situation you're in. You fucking learn to adapt, and you fucking get better at baseball because there's nothing else to do than baseball. And so you spend so much time on yourself, and a lot of kids, I think, that are 18, you fucking need it. You know what I'm saying? You need to go somewhere that is a little bit shittier per se, and you really need to learn how to fucking survive from that instead of getting to a D1 or whatever and get everything handed to you. I'm not saying all D1s are like that. You can go to a D1 and develop, of course, and you will get better and stuff like that, which is all good and all. But for me, going to a JUCO really changed my mentality of things. And I saw an interview Rice University's head coach did about JUCO kids. He's like, he said this. He said, I recruit JUCO guys because, number one, they already had 250 at bats. They played in a good and he knows the competition is good. And you got 250 at bats. Other than if you're a freshman and D1, you might get 20, 30 at bats. You know what I'm saying? So the experience is different, but competition is still good. He knows that, right? So number two, these guys are fucking grungy. They're tough, and they're scumbags. And basically what we are. But it's a good thing because I think for me, if you want to succeed in baseball, you have to be somewhat of a scumbag, and I really truly believe that. Not in like the shitty bad way, but you have to have that little bit of, just dirty side of you to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I advocate it. And plus, again, playing time, how you gonna develop? I mean, fuck, if you go to D1 or D2 or 4-year school, it's gonna be really tough for you to play because you're competing with juniors and seniors. And you're not gonna play over those guys. I can tell you that. So go to JUCO. You can compete with freshmen, sophomores that are, still great competitions, and you fucking go ball out, and then hopefully you move on to a 4-year. For me, I went from, like I said, 0 offers out of the Kobe Community College. After a sophomore showcase in JUCO, I had 60 offers, 60 plus offers with all scholarship money, from all D2s, NAIA, D1s, and I ended up choosing USF, obviously, right? But yeah, dude, it's very underrated, which is why I speak so highly of it, because I know it's still like, people just don't get it, because they haven't been through it, which is understandable, but you can't just make judgments on the shit that you haven't been through, you don't know of because you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm telling you straight up from my experience, and I've done it all. I've done JUCO, I've done D1, I've done pro ball. JUCO for me was the best choice I've made playing baseball. So,
can you explain the origins of the JUCO Bandit and what that means to you and what it means to the guys who basically live by that moniker?
I think I've heard JUCO like Bandit before, but I don't think too many people are like speaking out of it about that, you know. And for me, I was like, dude, I love that because first of all, bandits are scumbags, you know. They fucking steal and they're thieves basically, you know. But they're like grungy. They find whatever they can to take, you know what I'm saying. And for me, like, that doesn't mean go and fucking steal money or whatever. It's not what I'm saying. But when you go somewhere like a JUCO or whatever, you gotta learn to survive, man. If you're trying to survive, you better do whatever you can to survive. You know, instead of being a bitch, are you gonna cry about it? No, you're gonna fucking find a way, do whatever. Hopefully, things are legal. You know, do legal stuff. But you're doing whatever you can do to make your situation better. And you know, I think that's a big reason I speak of the Bandit a lot, is because, you know, world need guys like us to exist. Yeah, in my opinion, especially in the sports world. You know, you can't just have all these, you know, number one draft picks and stuff. No, you need some of these fucking scumbags that can make those guys better too. You know what I'm saying? But while we're at it, we're gonna get better too. You know, so that's the way I see it. I think being a JUCO Bandit is more of a pride thing now than oh, I'm going to JUCO. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to change that. And I hear a lot. I get a lot of DMs from JUCO kids, like current and even a lot of ex JUCO Bandits too. A lot of them are pro guys, you know, and they send me, hey, like not one of them regret going to JUCO. That's a funny thing I found. You know, all these people talk down on JUCOs. I haven't heard of any current or past JUCO Bandits that say, oh, I regret going to JUCO. You know, everyone is very thankful for the situation they were in, because it's tough. That made them tougher, you know, and that made them to develop as a person and a baseball player. So
I think that's interesting too, because I came from D3. I had one. See, D3 doesn't give scholarship offers, but there was one school that called, and it was Trinity University in San Antonio, a good school that they were good at baseball at the time, and I had never heard of them. And you know, even playing JUCO ball in Phoenix is really good. You got Yavapai, South Mountain.
Oh yeah, no, Arizona is good. Yeah, for sure.
Really good.
Arizona is really good too. Yeah, there are some good schools.
And what's so funny, growing up, you think it's D1 or bust.
Yeah.
And you don't realize the amount of quality. People don't understand the quality baseball that you're going to get out of going to JUCO or playing Division III or even D2 and NAIA. Everyone thinks it's, I have to go to ASU. I have to go to U of A or I'm not going to be successful in baseball.
Yeah, dude, I funny story. This is a true story I'm telling you. Okay, I went to USF, right, which is a Division I in Tampa, Florida. There's Division II school called University of Tampa. Okay, they're D2, we're D1. Of course, everyone wants to go to D1, right? University of Tampa, we had my year, University of South Florida, we had 6 guys drafted, including myself, 5 or 6 guys. University of Tampa had 10 guys drafted. They're all way higher rounds too. You know, so what does that tell you? What, just because Division I is better? I don't think so. If we actually played against University of Tampa, I guarantee you it would have been close for sure. I don't know who would win, but it would have been really fucking close. Let me tell you that, because I know they had talent, and they're top 25 D2 every single year. And I think they won championships too. But anyways, like again, so what? Just because the divisions, it's they consider it lower or whatever, dude, there are 300 Division I's. There are some trash fucking D1s. I'm telling you, there are some dog shit D1s that my JUCO will beat the fuck out of. Like, not even, it wouldn't even be a close match. Like 250th RPI division, there are 300 schools, and it's an RPI system, right? So if my JUCO team made up of freshmen and sophomores played against like a 250th RPI D1, I can almost guarantee you we would fucking win. Like, we will win 8 out of 10 games. Like, I have that much confidence because I've seen it. I've seen some trash D1s because I played against some trash D1s when I was at USF. You know, I also played against great D1s like University of Florida, Central Florida. Like, we played against some of these really good schools, right? So, but at the same time, like, divisions, yeah, that might have been a thing years ago, but now, dude, with all the talent, I mean, these days, D3 guys are getting drafted. You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think you're better than that person that got fucking drafted? Obviously, the scouts thought he was way better than you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you think one to D1, you think you're better? No, it just doesn't work like that. What the division, that school you're going to does not mean shit. It's what kind of school that is, how are you going to develop from going to that school, and obviously, if you're like guys like me, like I'm from a, pretty average like family. So for me, scholarship money was a big thing for me choosing the school, and just little things that matter. But at the same time, are you gonna go play? Are you gonna develop? For me, those two are the main things I think kids should look at, rather so than, oh, it's a Division I, so this school is way better than this school. It just doesn't work like that.
When I look back on my career, right, I think I had 800 at bats in between summer ball. My seasons, I had close to 1,000 at bats. I had all the experience that I ever wanted in college baseball. Pro ball was a plus. Like, I didn't think I was going to make it. I was so fortunate to get drafted because we had to go far in the playoffs to have enough at bats, to have enough on us, right? There where scouts would be interested. But the best player I ever played with in high school went to a Pac-12 school, and he had 60 at bats in his entire career.
That's what I'm saying. So what makes you think that person had a better career than you? To me, you had a way better career. It's just the way it is. So the where you go doesn't matter. It's how you represent the school. Not the school doesn't represent you. You represent the school. So if you go to a school and you become a fucking nobody, then that school didn't do shit for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to some what people call it a shit school, and you become a fucking like yourself, and you play pro ball and shit, like, what does that tell you about the program? You know what I'm saying? So again, getting caught up with all these fucking divisions and shit is fucking eyewash. Cool thing I heard from Kyle Bodie, who's a Driveline founder. He said, you can be in a bumfuck Siberia in a barn, dog shit barn, like just cold, miserable. If you got a phone and you throw 95, someone will find you, and that's just the way it is. And especially nowadays with all the flat ground and all those great platforms that are built, it doesn't matter. The school doesn't matter. It's you that matters. If you fucking throw, I don't know, and I'm not saying anything bad about velocity guys or anything. If you throw 80, and you don't know where the fuck he's going, doesn't matter if you go to D1 or D2, D3, you fucking suck. But if you throw 92, or you go to a D3 and then you end up throwing 92 and get drafted, all power to you, So all these division shit's fucking eyewash, man. Go somewhere you can develop, play, and fucking get better, and hopefully move on to the next level that you want to.
Is there something you wish every ball player coming up would know? Middle school, high school, college, even low end of the minor league, even veteran minor league players who, since you got done playing, you're like, I wish I did this, right? Or this is something this is a piece of wisdom that I can give back.
I'd say the biggest thing will be, don't be content. Don't be, like, being satisfied is good. Like, I truly think every day you should find some satisfaction of doing what you're doing, but don't ever be like super, I'm happy where I'm at now too, but don't be content is basically how I can explain it. So always try to reach for more, always train for more, always do more, always find a way to get better, or whatever you're doing. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, correct? You want to fucking develop all of them at the same time. So for me, like, when I was pitching, like, my weakness was my off speed. Then I'm going to do whatever I can to get that shit better. While my fastball, I'm still working on this. There's so much thing you can do to get better, to reach for more when you're playing. Just because you throw, 93 and you're happy with whatever and you got drafted, don't be fucking happy with that. Try to throw 95. Try to throw better strikes. Try to throw, better pitches. Try to throw nastier pitches. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that you can measure now too, especially with Repsodo and shit like that. You can fucking, see what kind of spin it's having. Like, do whatever you can to make yourself better. And it doesn't matter if you're a fucking little leaguer, or a fucking big league veteran. Like, it doesn't matter. I think, to me, like, big league veterans or even minor league veterans are the ones that need this most, because a lot of times we get stagnant. Like, and I was there too. When I was my 4th, 5th year, when I was catching, I was very, like, kind of doing the same shit, wasn't really getting better, and I was kind of like not getting, like, I was just like here, you know, I was not moving up to where I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And that really, I think, hurt me, my career, is because I was like, oh, fuck this, you know what I'm saying? I was at that stage in my career. But you should never be that. You should always reach for more. There's always something that you can do to make yourself better, get stronger, faster, whatever you can, you know? And so that's something I would, like, a piece of advice is just don't be stagnant. You're a fucking nobody, know that, and just be better than who you were a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's good shit, man. Well, I certainly appreciate how real you are when it comes to baseball.
yeah.
It's definitely a voice that people need to hear. You know, it's baseball, and we hope that what we're doing with More Than Baseball is to show that baseball matters, right?
Right.
And you're doing the same thing. You know, baseball matters to so many of us, and we just want what's absolutely best for it.
Yeah, and again, there are a lot of players like, I mean, just like you, that the guys like you that speak out about these minor leaguers stuff, which is fucking, I think is awesome, because a lot of them can't speak up, you know, like, and which is why I'm trying to speak up a little bit for them if I can. Obviously, I say a lot of dumb shit along with it too, but like guys like you and like whatever the Parade and them are doing, they're taking these things serious, and they're actually helping these guys, you know, and I think that's great. And again, one day, hopefully it can change for the minor leaguers. For me, that's a big thing. I think obviously the little stuff that we're doing, like even me raising money for them, or whoever that's raising money for them, or these More Than Baseball, they're sending care packages and stuff, they're all great. But what needs to change is the system. If the system doesn't change, we can all do all these little stuff. That ain't really going to have much effect on these minor leaguers, you know? So we'll see what happens next year, though. And there will be a lot of changes, I think, with the minor league scale. I heard they're going to cut down fucking 42 teams. I heard that's more like it's set in stone, which sucks. But again, there will be a lot of things that will be coming with that. I guess we'll just see how things develop, and then we'll keep on speaking out for these guys that have no voice, you know. So
yeah. Last question. What was your walk-up song?
It was fucking stupid. I was in AA. I had Selfie, you know, by LMFAO. I had that going. It was dumb. I don't know why I did that. And I was a fan favorite, though. People loved it, man. I remember because I got called up AA after the opening series, because literally opening game, our starting catcher in AA got hurt. I was in low A. I got called up, so I started catching right away in my second game of the season. We're like packed, 8,000 people in Richmond, Virginia. It was actually really good, cool atmosphere and stuff like that. And then, dude, they're like, what's your walk-up gotta be? I'm like, and then my buddy's like, dude, like, you listen to Selfie all the time. I'm like, yeah, sure, put Selfie on there. I didn't think it was gonna be that loud. And then I go in there, and their speakers are fucking loud as fuck. And they have these like Colosseum type things, so it's like super high. But it's
cement, not straight cement.
Yeah. So like it fucking bombs, dude. You know, so like literally, like I'm walking up to play, it goes, let me take a selfie, and it's just like boom, boom. So I was like, oh my god, this is sad. And then actually people like loved it. I saw crowds were like going crazy. I'm like, this is tight. So I kept it. I kept that as my walk up. But yeah, that's probably my most memorable.
What do you think? Did you think that girl was pretty? How did that girl even get in here? Do you see her? She's so short, and that dress is so tacky. Who wears cheetah? It's not even summer. Why does the DJ keep on playing Summertime Sadness? After you get out of the bathroom, can we go smoke a cigarette? I really need one. But first, let me take a selfie.